Notice what happens the next time you say sorry. Really notice it. Was something actually your fault, or were you just uncomfortable with the tension in the room? Were you genuinely wrong, or did someone seem slightly displeased and your brain immediately assumed you caused it? For people who apologize for everything, sorry is not an admission of guilt. It is a survival reflex, and it started long before you were old enough to understand what you were doing. Stay with this, because by the end, you will understand exactly why your brain reaches for sorry before it even checks whether you did anything wrong. And that understanding changes everything. First, you need to know what is actually happening when you apologize for things that are not your fault. Your brain is not being polite, it is trying to prevent something. When there is tension in a room, your brain reads it as danger. Not danger like a car coming towards you, but danger like someone is upset, and if I do not fix this quickly, something bad might happen. So it reaches for the fastest tool available: sorry. Because sorry has always worked before. Sorry smooths things over. Sorry ends the silence. Sorry makes the discomfort go away, at least for a moment. Your brain learned this early, very early. Think about the environment you grew up in. Was there someone around you whose mood you had to constantly monitor? A parent who went cold when they were upset? A home where tension appeared without warning? A person whose emotions were so big and so unpredictable that you learned to read every small signal, a look, a silence, a slight change in tone, and adjust yourself accordingly. If that sounds familiar, your sorry habit makes complete sense. Because as a child, you discovered something very important. You could not control what the adults around you felt, but you could try to manage it. You could apologize before they got angry. You could make yourself smaller so there was less of you to upset them. You could take responsibility for things that were not yours to carry, just to keep the peace. That worked. It kept you safe, and your brain remembered. Now you're an adult. The people around you are different. The situation is different, but your brain is still running the same program. Someone goes quiet, you apologize. Someone seems annoyed, you apologize. Someone disagrees with you, you apologize. You take up space, you apologize for existing loudly enough to be noticed. You're not doing this because you're weak, you're doing this because your nervous system learned that keeping people comfortable was how you stayed safe. And it hasn't updated yet. Here is what chronic apologizing actually costs you. When you say sorry for things that are not your fault, you're telling the other person that you are responsible for their emotions. You're handing them a power they didn't ask for and probably shouldn't have. Over time, the people around you learn, consciously or not, that your feelings matter less than their comfort, that you will adjust, that you will take the blame, that you will smooth it over. And you end up carrying weight that was never yours to carry. Not because you're a pushover, but because you were trained a long time ago to believe that your comfort in a situation mattered less than everyone else's. The sorry habit is not a character flaw. It's a coping strategy that made complete sense once, in a home where emotions were unpredictable, with people whose moods you had to manage just to feel safe, in a situation where making yourself smaller was genuinely the safest option available. The problem is not that you learned it. The problem is that you're still using it in situations that don't require it anymore. The next time you feel the urge to say sorry, pause for 1 second. Ask yourself one question. Did I actually do something wrong? If yes, apologize, fully, genuinely. It matters. If no, notice the urge. Notice how uncomfortable it feels not to say it. That discomfort is your nervous system waiting for a threat that is no longer there. You don't owe everyone comfort. You don't owe everyone an apology for existing. And sorry, when it means everything, should mean something. Think about the last time you said sorry and genuinely didn't know why. What was happening in that room? Drop that in the comments. I think a lot of people are carrying the same thing. If this felt true about your life, that recognition matters. Most people never name it.